Top of the hour here on a Wednesday morning. This is the 4th day of October 2023, 58 degrees in downtown Sylacauga. Missy Turner from Mutt Cuts in Sylacauga joins us this morning. Missy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us today. First of all, welcome to the show, and you're no stranger to videography and television and all this kind of stuff. But you're really no stranger to animals. You've been a pet lover for how long now?
Since I was a child.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
Very
how did you get started with pets and loving pets and that kind of stuff?
A friend of mine in Prattville, where I used to live, needed some help. And so I decided to start part-time just bathing for her. And it just eventually morphed into owning my own business and grooming for the past 30 years.
Now, you and Jeff, your husband, of course, had a shop over here off of, right behind the old Walmart at one time, didn't you?
No.
Somewhere?
No, I used to be over by the swimming pool on 8th Street.
Okay.
And that's where I first got started.
All right.
So
you're right over here now. And how long have you been in this location?
This location since 2016.
Okay. Now, Mutt Cuts, what services do you offer?
I groom dogs and nail trims and bathe and brush and make them look pretty.
So how many clients do you think you have? A bunch?
All of them.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I do. I'm sometimes get pretty overworked, but you know, I still do it.
Talk about the relationship of a groomer and a pet.
Oh, it's very important. It's good to get your pets socialized and take them places, and it's a good way for people to bond with their own pets. And a lot of times groomers will find little changes in a pet that you don't notice every day. And I've saved a few lives. One little dog, a little small Yorkie about this big, I noticed a knot in his belly, and they took him to the doctor, and he had a 3-pound tumor, and they saved his life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was because of me.
So when someone calls and sets an appointment for the first time for their animal, is it dogs and cats, or is it just dogs, or what?
I used to groom cats. They're a lot harder, and they don't like it very much. There's really no safe place to hold a cat. So, but yeah, it's pretty simple. I like grooming dogs the best, and I have a relationship with all my clients, and of course we all have our favorite dogs, and you know, and y'all know who you are.
I guess you can get attached to them, can't you?
Very much, very much. I dread those phone calls where they call me and tell me that they've passed over. You know, and you get them weekly.
Yeah.
But I have some people that I've been grooming their dogs for 20 years in this location, you know, in Sylacauga, and one dog will pass, and you know, a few months later they go get another dog, and I get to watch that one grow up, and yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
I've read horror stories of pets with a groomer, and something goes awry, and I guess that's always in the back of your mind, making sure you do everything right.
It is. It is. I take a lot of precaution in my shop, and the people I hire, and you know, safety is my #1 concern. Don't let anything happen to them on my watch.
What's the easiest pet, as far as species is concerned, that you deal with?
You mean the breed?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Easiest, I don't know. Poodles, I think, are the best because they just really take to grooming. They know they've got to do it, and they just stand there, and most. But you know, any dog can become used to grooming, and they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
They like the attention.
Now, you know the ins and outs of Pet Connect and how important it is in our community. And you know, you've been involved with the Ferrell dogs of Avondale Meals. Talk about that a little bit.
I've been involved with them, I guess, for the past 6 years. I foster dogs for them. We actually house the dog food and dog medication and cat and everything surplus over at our warehouse. And I sell the spay-neuter vouchers at my shop full time. We do a lot with them. We volunteer. We have pet adoption events, and you know, we help rescue. And
Talk about spay and neutering. How it seems like that every time you turn around, there's more overflow of animals.
spay and neuter is not just beneficial for the community, it's beneficial for the pet too. You know, there are a lot of different kind of cancers that pets can get that they don't get if they've been spay and neutered. But it is very important, because all it takes is that one pet, and they go crazy breeding, and it just explodes.
Yeah. We see a lot of animals here in town. You see stories of them running in packs and out by Walmart and some of these other areas, and we got soft-hearted people who are, you know, they're going to feed them. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, in most cases, it's a bad thing, because we've already got people that are dedicated to feeding certain groups, and if the pet gets or if the dog or cat gets used to eating at the same time every day, it's easier to trap them and get them off the streets. But if you have people just feeding them willy-nilly, they don't care. They just come up and eat or not.
Yeah. Our animal shelter here in Sylacauga seems to be always overflowing. What's the answer?
Spaying and neutering your pets, and don't let them out, you know, just to roam the streets. Walk your dog on a leash. They really enjoy that, you know, and it keeps them from going off and getting hit by cars and big vet bills or dying in the streets. And it's just more beneficial for people to pay attention to their pets.
We have an older America, and it has been said that pets, especially dogs, are so therapeutic for older Americans. You find that true in your practice?
Definitely. You know, a lot of times all people need is just something to pay attention to, and something to pay attention to them, to love them unconditionally. And it's very therapeutic.
Do you believe that dogs can communicate with humans?
Oh, they don't talk to us, but they do talk to us, you know. If you're in tune with your pet, you can pretty much tell what's going on. And they let you know they love you every day. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to live in a fancy house. A dog will love you if you're living in a camper somewhere or a tent. They're just that way. They're unconditional.
I saw this thing one time about as a little cartoon about a pet owner. He had left for just a little while, and he came back, and the dog just was all over him, and the pet owner said, "Well, I've just gone for 30 minutes." Said it felt like all day. You know, so
that's what they look forward to. You know, you can be gone 30 minutes or 3 days, and they just act like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I've seen you.
Yeah.
You know, so glad you're home."
How do you take care of animals?
How do you take care of them? Well,
as far as grooming is concerned and making sure they're taken care of.
Well, dogs and cats all need their nails trimmed. You know, if you walk your dog on the sidewalk when you leave the house and everything, it helps file their nails down. They may not need it trimmed as often, but they do always need nail trims. They always need baths. They always need your hands on them so you can feel for changes, lumps, you know, bumps and things like that. Yeah, they always need that kind of attention.
With the summer ending, and we had a very, very hot summer this year, and we're headed into fall and the cold season, should we look at animals the way we look at humans as far as inclement weather is concerned?
Oh yeah, you don't need to leave your dog out in a storm, or, you know, if it's going to snow or something, unless they have a place to get out of the weather, you know, a nice dog house. I don't like to drive around and see a dog sitting chained up in the weather, you know, like a big storm coming. That just breaks my heart. My dogs are always in my house.
So, okay, let's talk about Mutt Cuts. So, people who do not know, talk about the business a little bit, and I guess you're accepting more appointments, are you not?
Oh, I'm always accepting appointments. You know, I won't turn anybody down unless their dog like bites my arm off or something. But yeah, you know, I've been at 210 Calhoun Avenue for the past 7 years. Yeah. And my number is 256-249-8430. Give me a call. I'm there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Wednesdays, I close at noon.
Do you do specialized grooming for pets that are going to be in shows or stuff like that?
We don't get a lot of that around here, but yes, I can do some
Yeah.
show grooming.
Wow. Talk with Missy Turner, who, with her husband Jeff, has Mutt Cuts here in Sylacauga, 210 Calhoun Avenue. And, you know, when I see an animal, I'm not an animal person. I'll be, you know, right up front, I'm not. But a lot of friends I have are. And are you sensitive to an animal that could be I'm trying to get the word right here, to an animal that could react differently to your handling of that animal?
Oh yeah, I'm very cautious every day if I get a new one in there. And even if the ones that have been coming to me for a while, you never know what's in a dog's mind, what can set them off or anything. But yeah, I'm very cautious, you know, and I can read their body language pretty well.
We always see it around holiday season when there's a lot of fireworks going on. How does this affect animals, fireworks?
Oh, it scares them to death. I mean, they don't know, because we don't have it all the time, you know, they're not used to it. It's only usually a couple of times a year. And if a dog's outside and they hear something like that, they're liable to jump a fence or, you know, just run off and hide, and it just scares them. And some people never get their animals back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we don't think about it, you know.
No, because we know what's coming.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
but you can't tell a dog.
So if someone is contemplating, and not everybody should have a pet.
Right.
And, you know, children, they love pets and they want a pet, but what goes into being someone who is going to have a pet in their home?
Well, you need to check your lifestyle and also check the breed, because, excuse me, some breeds require more hands-on attention. Some of them just like to lay around and they're good with whatever. But if you're going to get a very active dog and you have an active lifestyle, that's a good thing. But at the last pet adoption event that we had a dog named Aiden that was a shelter dog, and he got adopted, and the guy was a cross-country runner. So when he took the dog out to walk him and everything, they decided to take a run around the parking lot. Well, Aiden kept up with him pretty well, and he said, okay, I'm taking him home. So he's got that kind of lifestyle, and Aiden enjoyed that lifestyle, so now they're together.
How do we take care of dogs that are aging? I don't know what the average lifespan of a dog is, but since we're talking animals this morning and dogs, how do we take care of a dog that is aging in life?
Well, see your vet regularly, or a vet, or you have to adjust their food, because you don't want them to get overweight and sedentary, and then they usually will go quicker if they don't have any activity. Always keep them clean, fed, make sure they have ample space to go walk around and like go outside, and just like you would take care of me if I was getting old, you know, do your vet visits and lots of love and attention.
I saw a story not long ago where a woman was arrested. They had found 29 dead horses on her property.
Wow.
And other dogs that were just emaciated, and How do we get to a point like that? I know you've seen something similar to that, I guess.
I've seen it, yeah. I do see it sometimes. Sometimes people won't bring their animals to me often enough, and when they bring them sporadically, you can tell who is not eating right, and and I try to recommend taking them to a vet, but sometimes when people get older, they get a mental blockage and they just quit doing certain things, and they think everything's okay when it's not.
So how can we support feral dogs of Avondale and also our animal shelter here in Sylacauga? What are ways we can do that?
Well, volunteer, spay and neuter. The shelter, they like to, on Saturdays, they get out and they have volunteers come up to walk dogs, which is wonderful. They do doggy day out. You can pick up a dog and take it and go get a pup cup from Starbucks and, love it a little bit, walk it, and take it back. They take monetary donations, they take food donations, just anything you can think of, cat litter, cleaning supplies, all kinds of stuff. There's ways, even if you can't afford to do something, you can spend a little bit of your time. If you don't have the time, spend some money. But we definitely are lacking as a community in taking care of our animals.
Do you think that dogs sense when its owner passes away?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They miss you just like you would miss your wife. I see grieving all the time. There are families with 2 or 3 dogs in them, and one dog will pass over, and like it happened in my own family. I had 4 dogs, and they died from old age. 2 of them died from old age. Well, I had one left that was grieving every day. He would not want us to leave the house. I went to the shelter and got another dog, and he's the happiest thing in the world now. So he's just got company, they're pack animals. They like company.
Older America, especially if it's a single person, a spouse that passed away or whatever, and they have a pet. I mean, that pet is their life.
Yeah, so many of my customers tell they're like my child, and they really are, because that's what you've got.
So, at your shop, do you have the spay and neutering certificates there?
I try and sell them full time. Sometimes I run out, so if you're looking for one, it's best to call me first and make sure I've got them in. If I do run out, it doesn't take me usually about a week or so to get more in.
Okay.
But I do sell them full time.
All right. Before we go this morning, a good news story about a pet and a pet owner that just jumps off the page at you and say, wow, this is why I do what I do.
I can't think of one in particular, but like I say, I saved the life of that one little dog, and it was wonderful. My own experiences with dogs, I'll just never be without one. When they all go, I'll go get another one. I've just got too much to give to sit there and not do it.
And the dogs sense that?
Yeah, dogs gravitate towards certain people, and you can see some people just have a way with them. They know that. They feel it.
And they can sense when you're afraid of them too.
Yeah, they can. And they can sense who's not the kind of person to treat them right. And my husband once told me if his dog that he had when we met hadn't liked me, I wouldn't be here.
That's a good way to end the interview.
Yes.
Missy Turner of Mutt Cuts, 210 Calhoun Avenue in Sylacauga. I guess, Missy, always good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
All right, we got more Daybreak just ahead. Don't go away.